My name is Swarupa Bhatsavle from Team Simple Steps Fitness. On behalf of my entire team, I welcome you all to the second season, episode 5 of India Aspires, a platform for stories of young athletes of India, which will surely inspire us all. In case you have missed out on any of the earlier episodes of season 1, you can head over to our YouTube channel, Simple Steps Fitness, and you can watch them. Simple Steps has been organizing events and activities for kids across India for last 5 years, and the age group of children is from 2 to 15 years. Our aim is to inculcate fitness amongst the kids at a very young age and to give them a feeling of accomplishment. We are also proud to be associated with the Fit India movement. The present situation of lockdown has given us new horizon, which is India Aspires. Through this platform, we attempt to bring to limelight stories of young athletes of India who are doing exceptionally well in their chosen sport. In doing so, we are certain that these stories will surely inspire us all. It is, after all, from each other that we get energy, strength, and motivation. For the second season, we are introducing few new flavors. The first is the Athlete's Corner. In this segment, you will know something more about the athlete. You will get to see maybe the medals the athlete has won, or the equipment that they use for their particular sport, or a special jersey or some special shoes that they use for their chosen sport. The other is On the Edge. These are a set of rapid questions that we ask the athlete, not necessarily related to the sport, but something that will tell us something more about the person behind the athlete. So let me not waste any more time. Let me introduce you to the athlete that we have today. Her name is Rutuja Talegaonkar. She is from Nagpur. She is a swimmer who has won 3 gold, 2 silver, and 1 bronze medal. Rather than me elaborating on these medals, a little later I am going to ask her to talk about these medals and how she won them in what events. She has also represented India at FINA, which is the International Swimming Federation. This was in Israel in 2018. She also represented India at Asian Open Water Swimming Championship held in Kuwait in 2019. So let me now call upon Rutuja. Rutuja, welcome to Simple Steps India Aspires.
Thank you so much.
All right, Rutuja, tell us, I just mentioned few of your achievements and few medals that you have won. So at the offset, please tell me something more about yourself.
I'm an international swimmer and I'm from Nagpur. And currently, I am pursuing my graduation from Nagpur University. The achievements you told before, so I would like to elaborate them. In 2018, I was selected to represent India at the FINA World Junior Open Water Swimming Championships, which was held in Israel from 6 to 8 September. In that, all the athletes from all over the world participated, and I was on 28th rank. I came 28th. Although the competition was so tough, but still I managed to finish before 30 people. So that was a very great achievement for me. Then after that, in 2019 in Kuwait, Asian Open Water Championships were held. In that also, I got the chance to represent India, and in that I came eighth out of 20 girls.
That's a good number.
Yeah, so that was one proud movement for me. And then the before you told about the three gold, two silver, and one bronze medals that I won in All India University Swimming Championships, which were held in Jalandhar in November 2019. So I won three gold, two silvers, and one bronze, and I was the second fastest swimmer of that meet.
And so these were all in one event, is it, in Jalandhar?
Yeah, there were six. No, sorry. Yeah, there were six events, and I won medal in all the six events.
Lovely. That's quite an
Thank
achievement.
you.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
So, Rutuja, what age did you really start swimming? Water baby at
I started swimming at the age of 6.
okay.
Actually, there is one place here in Nagpur called Kamgar Kalyan. So there, my mom used to take me for the summer camps. They used to host the summer camps. So I should get friendly with other people and all that things. So my mom used to put me in that summer camp, and just behind that, a swimming pool was there. So once my mom took me to the swimming pool, and then she talked to some coaches, and then she decided that she would put me in swimming for few months till the summer is over. Then when my swimming actually started, I used to cry a lot because I wasn't that familiar with water, and I used to think that I would drown or something like that. But I used to cry a lot. But then as the days went by, I used to go every day and used to practice for like 15 minutes or half an hour. Then when I started competitive swimming at the age of 10, means when I first competed in a competition, I was of 10 years old.
Wow.
That time when I won my first gold medal, that time I realized how the sports means to me.
Right.
So then I took it very seriously, and till now I'm doing the same.
Okay. So, can I say that initially you had to be kind of pushed into water and pushed into the sport and the competition?
Yeah, yeah, yes.
But
And
let's
all the credit goes to my parents.
your parents, yes, I'm sure because they kind of pushed you. But did you ever have had to be literally pushed into the water? Because I have seen this happening many a times where kids are
Yeah,
fighting and the
yeah,
coach.
yeah. That happened with me.
Okay,
Yes, that happened with me a lot of times. But then, when I just as I told before that when I won my first gold medal, then from that time I took swimming very seriously.
that excitement and that
Yeah.
of winning that medal must have given you focus and made you think that
Yes,
okay,
yes,
well, there's something to achieve here and win.
yes.
Lovely. So
Absolutely.
right. So that has how you got into swimming. So
Yeah.
Pooja, you mentioned that you are a second year student. What
Yes.
are you studying just now? What graduation? What is your field?
I am studying in BCom,
Okay.
second year.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is in university in Nagpur.
Yeah. Nagpur University.
But where do you really do your training? Do you also train in Nagpur?
No, first till 10th I used to train in Nagpur, but then there weren't any sufficient techniques or skills or the equipments, so I decided to move to Pune with my mom. My
Okay.
dad lives here in Nagpur only because he's a doctor, so he can't miss his clinics. So dad stays here. Me and mom, we live in Pune, and I train there only because their coaches are very advanced with skills. Also the techniques, you get to learn so many things from them, and that really have helped me in my career. They have really helped in improving me.
So
So I am
yeah, sorry, continue.
Yeah. So I am it's like it's been 3 years that I live in Pune now, and yeah, that's all.
So you live in Pune with your mother for your
Yeah,
training, and you go back to Nagpur for your exams.
yes, yes. Whenever there are holidays or exams or practicals, any of these things are there, then I come back to Nagpur. I give them, then I again go to Pune for the training.
But what about your studies? How do you manage that since you're in commerce?
I have always equally balanced both the things from childhood only because I love studying and I love swimming also. So I used to manage both of them. And after the trainings or before trainings, before 2 sessions of gym and swimming, whenever I used to get time, I used to do my studying. So I manage my time well, and I also, I performed well in studies also. I was in merit in 10th and 12th both.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Lovely. Very few cases like you, I'm sure. There are very few children like you who enjoy studies and a sport. Nice, good to hear.
yeah, I do.
Yeah. But currently, right now you are in Nagpur, right? You've gone back because of
Yes,
the lockdown.
yeah, everything is closed, so we came back to Nagpur.
Right. But uh, but otherwise, you stay in Pune with your mother, and
Yes.
you go back for your exams. But how do you actually study for your college and for your subjects? How do you manage that? While you're in Pune, how do you?
I have I have some tutors, home tutors in Pune. They are very well versed with Nagpur University course. So they come home and they teach me everything. And like that, then I give exams or test series. They also take my test series and everything. So I'm very well prepared because of them.
Uh, you in Pune, you are literally managing both, right? You're managing your training as well as your studies.
Yes.
Yes. How do you really manage this, and how do you manage to keep the focus, given that there are so many other distractions nowadays, and especially children of your age? Because these two things, you said you do enjoy them, but in spite of that, I'm sure to actually pursue it, because I'm sure training also requires a lot of hard work, right? Maybe getting up early morning and all of that. So
Yes.
how do you really manage to have both and not get distracted?
Actually, I have been focused from the starting only. So, distractions are not really my thing. Even if I get a bit distracted, which happened in 10th and 12th, but I overcame that. I managed both studies and swimming also in 10th and 12th. So, yeah, distractions have never been so serious for me, and I've never been distracted till, you know, in whole this journey.
Oh, wow, really focused, I must say.
Yeah.
Very goal oriented girl. Good to know you. Okay, let's just go back to your initial days of your training when you said when you were 10-year-old, when you started
Yeah.
winning well. How did it go after that? Who were your coaches? Who guided you? How were you training? At, at that point of time, you would have been in Nagpur, right?
Yes.
So can you just tell us a little more on that? How it was after your 10 years of age?
Okay, so as I told you before, I won my first medal at the age of 10. Then I took the sport very seriously. From then on, I started working hard. I used to do that before, but I was not all serious about the sport. So then I started working hard. I used to do physical activities, physical exercises, then swimming both times in morning and evening. Then I started winning medals in CBSC nationals. First, I won medals at state levels. Then after 2 3 years, I won my first CBSC national medal when I was in
Okay.
sixth standard. So yeah, that was my first gold national medal, first national gold medal it was. From then, my my journey has been all increasing. Like I never went back or there wasn't any downfall or something like that. So I've always kept improving from that. My coaches used to support me. He used to train me, he used to teach me if somewhere I made mistakes, or if something I was doing something wrong, or I was some strokes were incorrect, something he used to always guide me. But actually the problem is that Nagpur coaches, I should not say this, but Nagpur coaches lack some knowledge in swimming. The advanced swimming and simple swimming. There are two differences in both of these. So my Nagpur coach was he didn't have any, uh, perfect knowledge about advanced swimming. So, and I wasn't improved. Yeah, after 10th, then I decided that I should move to Pune and get some higher advanced trainings in Pune. So I had one coach I knew. So he is an international coach. So after my 10th board exams, I shifted to Pune. Then there I started my trainings, and he used to do the same thing, like teaching me, guiding me. He used to, when I would used to make mistakes, he used to correct me, all these things, and he gave me more knowledge about the sport. What all should I do before competition, after competition, or before training, after training. All these I got to know because of him. And yeah, then again, I saw a lot of improvement in my timings also after when I shifted to Pune.
Under the new coach's guidance. Uh, so,
Yeah.
Vijay, can you elaborate a little more on the actual training that you would do? For instance, when you moved to Pune, the training that you would do. I mean, you can probably tell us how you train and what kind of training it was in the pool.
Okay. When I shifted to Pune, I will tell you about the training schedule. So our training, there are two sessions in one day. One is in the morning and from 6 to 8 p.m. and one is in the evening 7 to 10 p.m.
Oh,
So there are actually two coaches. One is assistant coach and one is the main coach. So the assistant coach used to take my practice in the morning, and the main coach used to take my practice in the evening. And between that, I used to go to the gym for like 1 to 1.5 hours. I used to do their all physical training,
okay.
and yeah, this was my schedule. And in the middle time, then when I used to get time, I used to study because after, my 12th was also coming.
Right. Okay. So in the morning you're swimming, then you're
Yeah.
going to the gym. In between you're squeezing
Yes.
a bit of your studies, and again from
Yeah.
7 to 10 p.m. you're in the pool again.
Yes.
Okay. So what kind of training would it be? For instance, let's say your morning session where you're swimming in the morning in the pool. What would a typical average day be? What kind of swimming you had to do on that day?
Actually, the sets are almost same both in morning and evening. There are just few differences, like some in morning sets are short, like short distance sets, and in evening the sets are long distance sets. So when you're when you're training for open water swimming, which is the sea swimming.
Right.
So for that swimming, we used to do long distance training, which would happen in the evening. And for the pool competitions, we used to train in the morning. Means the sets were planned according to the pool competitions, and in the evening the sets were planned according to open water swimming competitions.
Ah, okay. Which were
Yeah.
longer distances, obviously, because
Yes.
so is, what what would you say is really the difference between pool swimming and open water swimming? You had to.
Actually, there's a lot of difference. Actually, in pool competitions, the water is all stable, so you can swim perfectly in that. But what happens in open water swimming is that there are lots of waves, which sometimes helps you in swimming, and sometimes they push you back from your, the finish line. So there is a lot of difference. It's very difficult to swim in open water swimming compared to pool competitions. So yeah, and also the salt water, sometimes it gets in your mouth and all that. So that's one irritating thing about it. But still, I love open water swimming. I love both actually.
Okay, but it is definitely challenging to swim in open water.
Yes, yes.
Does anybody in the family play any sport, or do they have any kind of background of
No,
pursuing any game?
no one plays sports in my family. I'm the only one.
Okay. Um, so also you mentioned about the gym sessions that you have when you're in Pune. Um, what typically do you do in the gym? What kind of strength training are you doing?
Uh, I have my gym days planned. I do 3 sessions in a week in the gym. So one day it is lower body, the other day it is upper body, and the third it is cardio and CrossFit training. So I have a trainer, so he plans everything for me, and then I have to follow whatever is planned. You know, leg day, chest day, shoulder day, all that thing.
Okay, so gym, you're also hitting the gym practically every day of the week.
No, 3 sessions,
3 sessions.
like 3 days a week. Yeah, because
Okay.
excessive gym is also not advisable because you may occur some injuries or something like that. So 3 to 4 sessions a week is okay, like it is sufficient.
Okay, but you're swimming practically every day.
Yeah, swimming matters the most.
Right, so this is all the training that you're doing on the physical level. Rutuja, can
Yeah.
you tell me something on the mental level? As in, do you do any kind of meditation or any mental exercises to to keep your focus? Do you really believe in that? Have you tried that ever?
Yeah, I meditate daily for 10 minutes. Actually, I think meditation is the best way to start your day.
Yes.
And meditation makes your mind sharp. It keeps you focused, calm, and it is the best way to start your day because as soon as you get up and you do meditation, your whole body is calm and cool, and whatever you have planned to do in the whole day, you can do that very perfectly. So yes, I think meditation. I do meditation, and it is the best way. So athletes also should perform it daily. It increases your mental strength also.
I'm sure you have actually experienced this before a particular
Yeah,
tournament or before a particular event that you have. You have, if you have been meditating
yeah.
regularly, has it helped you then, particularly, can you recall any particular incident where it has helped you?
Actually, what happens is before the event, you're you're all stressed up and nervous about what how will you perform in the event. So
Right.
I don't actually perform meditation before an event. I just close my eyes, I calm myself, I take long deep breaths, and yeah, it's some type of meditation only, but not full. So that helps me a lot in my events, before my events, to calm myself.
Calm yourself. Yes. Lovely. Uh, okay, well, so we spoke about your training and how you also keep your mental focus. Uh, Nutrition, which is again one of the very important aspect of any athlete, right? Uh,
Yeah.
what do you do? Do you have a particular diet that you follow?
Yes, I think the nutrition is the main part for in an athlete's life because your performance depends mostly on the nutrition, the things which you intake in your body, the things which you give to your body. So that is the thing that helps you to perform more better in your event or competitions. So yes, I'm following a diet plan in this lockdown also, so I should not gain any weight because as soon as the pool starts, so I can start my training instead of doing my weight loss thing and all that. So yeah, I'm following a diet plan, and in also that in the diet plan, my protein intake is higher. so they don't gain weight, because carbs are the main thing. Carbs are the main part which helps you gain weight. So I'm cutting down on the carbs, and I'm mostly taking proteins only.
Now, since we're talking about a changed diet in your hello, can you hear me, Rituja? Okay.
Yeah, I can move.
So, as we are talking about a little bit of change in your diet because of the lockdown, I'm sure there must be change in your training as well, right? Since we are in the lockdown. So, how has it changed? How are you keeping yourself fit as of now because of this lockdown? What kind of training are you doing? Obviously, you can swim.
I
Sorry.
Yeah, I train regularly. I do workout for like 1 to 1.5 hours daily. Uh, the amount of workout you used to do before lockdown is, this workout is, if you compare this workout and before lockdown workout, there is a very much big difference. But to keep you fit and that you should not gain weight or something like that. So I train regularly, 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening.
What kind of training are you doing now? At home?
Uh, I do actually. I'm suffering from an rotator cuff injury,
Oh,
so I am having my rehab. In that, I do TheraBand, shoulder stability exercises, and this all I do in the morning. The exercise TheraBand exercises, and in the evening I do legs workout, cardio, and so all that thing.
okay. But so I guess since you have this injury, lockdown may have been a good recovery period for you, isn't it? I'm sure you'll come back
Yes,
stronger
definitely.
since you're recovering.
Yes,
Also, you're doing those physiotherapy exercises to strengthen.
yes.
Okay, Rutuja,
Actually, this lockdown has proved very good for me, because if there wouldn't have been any lockdown, I wouldn't have been able to practice like for 4 to 5 months, because the injury was serious. So it would have taken 4 to 5 months to recover, and in that I would have missed lots of practice. So lockdown was for me, a lucky thing.
it's helping you.
Yeah.
Normal case, it may have been a bit of a setback, but now that there is lockdown,
Yes.
you can concentrate more on strengthening uh, and getting
Yes. Yes.
better
Sure.
recovering from the injury. Okay, let's just take a little bit of different, let's move on to on the edge where we have the rapid questions, and then we'll come back to a bit of serious questions again. Okay, so a bit of fun
Sure.
questions for you. You just can give answers, short answers, and maybe a couple of them you may have to elaborate. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Rutuja, if you were not a swimmer, what else would you be? Firstly,
Uh, I like badminton, so maybe if not swimming, I would have been in badminton field.
and I'm sure you have been excelling there as well.
Yeah, thank you so
Okay.
much.
Which holiday destination do you like, the beach or the mountains?
Um, I would say beaches only, because I'm afraid of heights, so not mountains is not the best thing for me. But I have been on so many beaches for the competitions also and for traveling purposes also. So yeah, I love beaches.
You still love that. That's your first love is the beach.
Yeah.
Okay. How about choosing between two, family or friends?
Okay. Family.
Lovely. Which season do you like, summer, monsoon, or winter?
Monsoon, definitely monsoon.
Oh, really? And why?
Uh, actually, when it starts raining, then you sit outside and have a cup of coffee and read your favorite novel. It always have been like this for me. So whenever it rains, I do all these things, and it makes me feel very happy about it. So yeah, I love monsoons.
Lovely. Open water or pool? I'm sure that's a difficult choice for you.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. But I would go for pool competitions only because open water hasn't gained that much importance in India for now as much as pool competitions have. So yeah, I'll go for pool competitions.
Uh, Meeting your friends physically or online chatting?
Meeting my friends physically.
Always. It has its different charm, isn't it? Meeting people.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Uh, Suja, your favorite stroke?
My favorite stroke is freestyle.
Music or dance?
Music.
Okay, if you would have to give up something, whatever you have just now, what would it be?
Um, that's very difficult to answer. Do you mean something or like
Okay, it could be
what?
anything. It could be some habit of yours. It could be something.
I would like to give up one habit of myself. Like, I get angry very easily. I'm not able to control my anger. So, yeah, I would like to give up that. And I'm working on it now.
Oh, good. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Okay. Um, Hail or chaat or pizza?
Definitely pizza.
Hmm. Okay. And well, the last one is with choosing between two actors, Ranveer or Ranveer.
I would go for Ranveer.
Okay. All right. But is he also your favorite actor or is somebody else?
No, actually, I don't watch Bollywood movies a lot. But he has a different energy in himself, which forces you to watch his movies and all that. So yeah, Ranveer.
Okay. All right. Uh, let's get back to some of our questions again now. We have been doing these interviews for athletes like you, young athletes like you, under India Aspires. What do you think of this? What do you think of our initiative, India Aspires?
India Aspires is a very wonderful initiative, I should say. In this initiative, many young athletes who want to pursue their career in sports. They are very much motivated by this initiative, and by watching the live sessions of the athletes who have achieved a lot. So, watching these videos and live sessions, I think young athletes will get very much motivated and very much they will become very much focused about hearing the journeys of many athletes. So, yeah, this initiative is a wonderful one.
Thank you. That is exactly what we would like. We'd like more children like you to get into sports and competitive sports
Yeah.
present India.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, Rutuja, could you tell me about your family and their contribution in your life and in your achievements?
My family has been very supportive from the beginning only. My parents, mom, dad, they have very much supported me in every decision I take in my life. Actually, what used to happen, they used they there was their schedule was very busy, but still they used to manage to take me to the pool, then bring me back to home. Then my dad used to take me to school, and then after school he used to come to pick me up, and then mom again used to you know take me to the pool for the evening session, and again bring me back home. So yeah, all these things, and yeah, they have always been with me through this whole journey. So they are the main backbone. They are, the person who I am today. The achievements that I have had till now, it's just because of them, I think.
So nice to hear that. Um, who's your role model?
My role model is Michael Phelps. He's a great swimmer. Like he has won 8 gold medals in one single Olympic Games. So yeah, he's the greatest of all time, and he has been my idol from childhood only. Since when I've started competitive swimming, he has always been my role model.
Oh, so nice. Yes. He is an amazing swimmer, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
I,
definitely.
I just read somewhere that he is probably faster than the great white shark as well.
Yeah, there was one episode in which he raced with a great white shark, and in that also he had beaten the shark in that competition, in that race.
Oh my.
So that was a wonderful thing that happened, and I loved that episode actually.
Oh, so it
That's why he's called the greatest of all the athletes, all the swimmers.
yeah. Okay, so can you now just tell me something funny that may have happened in your swimming, maybe your travels or your events, anything funny that comes to mind that you'd like to share with us?
Uh, There hasn't been any such incidents, but I remember one which was not funny back then, but whenever I remember it now, it seems funny to me. So what happened? There was this one open water competition in Mumbai. So they had beforehand, only before the competition started, they had told us where the finish point is. The finish point was between two bamboo trees. Actually, from 5 kilometer distance, we weren't able to see the finish point. But the guide told us that the two bamboo trees, which was the highest of them all, so that is your finish point. And then when competition started, I kept aiming at those trees, and I don't know, somehow I went to the other route, and I was all nervous, and I was all frightened now what to do and all. So then there was one boatman. Actually, there are many boatsmen near you if something happens to you, or if you want to get out of the water because of some reasons. So they come and pick you up. So there were many boatsmen around me. So then I asked one of them, and then they told me that you're on the wrong path. The finishing point is somewhere else. So
Okay.
yeah, back then it was very disastrous for me. But now when I think of it, it seems funny to me.
As to how you actually managed to go in the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sea is very vast, and when you get lost in the water, it's very dangerous also, and you get frightened of it. Or there are fishes also in water, so that's very
Okay, well, under the athlete's corner now, and I can see a lot of medals hanging there behind you where you're sitting. So can you show
yeah.
all
These
of
are
that?
my medals.
Okay.
Yes, these are some of the medals I have won in many competitions. Then these are the trophies. Should I open this? Okay.
Okay, yeah,
These are all the trophies I have won
lovely.
in my competitions.
Uh-huh.
Uh, then at the back of the trophies, there are many medals in all these 16 years, whichever competitions I have competed and won my medals. These are those. And yeah, here also, if you can see, these are also two, three trophies I've kept. Actually, the showcase is, there are so many trophies that I have to keep them somewhere else now.
It's not
They
enough.
are all full, and I am not able to keep it.
Yeah, mind your head. So you don't need to close that door.
Should I keep it open or should I close it?
Vijay, can you hear me? Yeah, okay, she's back.
Yes, yes, I can. I was saying that should I keep this open?
No, that's fine. In fact, if when you get up, you may hit your head there. So you can just close the door right on top of your head. Yeah. But yes, that's lovely and too many of them, I'm sure, for you to
Yeah,
display.
I have actually many, but there is no space to keep all that thing. So I've kept it somewhere else,
Yeah,
in the cupboard and all that.
lovely.
Only the main important ones, which really meant to me, I've all placed them here, and everything else is in the cupboard.
Okay. Yeah, but quite a few. I can whole lot of trophies and medals there. Okay. Anything else that you
Yeah.
like to like our viewers to see? Any other items we have?
Yeah, there are many things actually. First of all, I'll show you these medals. These are some medals, which I was not able to fit in the showcase. So I've taken these out to show the viewers.
Okay. So
These are some of the gold medals I won at the senior states
okay, this was
in 2018, I think.
okay. This was in
Yeah.
Jalandhar, right?
And sorry.
This was in Jalandhar.
No, actually, this was in Pune only. The senior states were held in Pune, and I won 4 golds and 1 bronze there. And I was the fastest swimmer of that meet. And
Oh,
I was just, I think, 17 or 18 years old that time.
oh wow. Nice. So
And I have this one to show to the viewers. Actually, this is called Jhapi. Actually, it's a hat. And I had my Khelo India games in Guwahati in 2020, January 2020. So I have like 3 of these. So whenever you win a medal on the podium, they give you the medal, this hat, and
okay.
a certificate. So I won 3 medals. So I got 3 of these. This is a Jhapi,
Rutuja, I think,
and
yeah, now we can see. I think the internet
okay.
has acted up. Could you show the
And
Jhapi
then I
again,
have,
Rutuja?
uh, sorry,
Could you show the Jhapi again, please? Because the internet had frozen. So,
this is the Jhapi.
okay, this is
This is the inside. You have to keep it on your head.
okay.
So I have 3 of them like this because I won 3 medals in that competition. So they used to give this to the medal winners.
Okay. How nice. This is from
And then, yeah, this is of Guwahati, Assam. Actually, these hats are famous in Guwahati. You can see them in people selling them on the streets or in bazaars and all that. Then this is a Ferris wheel. Actually, this is the symbol of. Actually, I got this in Khelo India University Games, which were held in Odisha, Bhubaneswar, in
Okay.
February 2020. So that time, this was also given to the medal holders. So I won 6 medals. So I got 6 of these like this. So 3 of them I gave to my coaches and trainers. So and 3 of them I have with me. So this is the Ferris wheel. Actually, this is the symbol of the Konark temple, which is situated in Odisha.
Right.
Yeah. So that this wheel is of the Konark.
Okay.
It represents the Konark temple. So this is also very beautiful. Actually, it's of a silver, pure silver.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. I'm sure it is as beautiful to see it
Yeah.
actually. Yes, it looks beautiful on the call as well. Beautiful.
Yeah, I've actually placed one near the, TV stand
Okay.
because it's very beautiful. When people come, they notice it and they also say the same thing.
I'm sure.
And then this is the main trophy. This is the trophy I received from the hands of our, previous Chief Minister, Devendra Fadnavis sir,
Okay.
and the transport minister Nitin Gadkari sir. So I was awarded this for the in Nagpur,
Mm-hmm.
best swimmer of Nagpur, best athlete in the field of swimming. So I was awarded this by both of them,
So
Nitin Gadkari sir and Devendra Fadnavis sir. So this is one special trophy for me.
sure it
Can you
is.
see it?
Yes, of course we can. It's lovely. Beautiful.
Yeah. So this is one precious trophy for me.
I'm sure it is. Yes. What an achievement to give to
Yeah.
receive it from such dignitaries. Yes.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, it was lovely to see all those trophies and medals of yours, and even Jhapi, right? They call it that hat.
Yeah. Happy.
Jhapi.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, another thing that every athlete, goes through, unfortunately, but sometimes can't avoid. We already spoke about it, about the injury. You already have an injury just now, you mentioned, but you're kind of recuperating from it. But usually when you are training, how do you really try to prevent any injury? Do you do anything in particular to prevent injury?
Yeah, there are many exercises which help you preventing from any injuries. There are shoulder step. Actually, the main part which is used in swimming is the shoulders.
Right.
They 90% of work is done by the shoulders in swimming. So these are the main points where you would likely get an injury, and that too it can range from serious injury to medium injuries like that.
Mm.
So that is the main thing. So shoulder stability exercises are must for the swimmers so that you don't suffer from any injury. But unfortunately, I got one. So actually, I got this injury in December 2019. But actually, the doctors advised me to, stop swimming for 4 to 5 months. But then in January and February, I had my two Khelo Indias. So I wouldn't miss them for anything. So I was in injury, still I practiced daily. I won medals also in that. But what happened in February, the Khelo India University Games were there, and that time it was becoming more serious because I was training daily and I was exercising also daily, so it was becoming more serious, and because of that I didn't won any gold medals in that competition which happened in February, Khelo India University Games. In there I won two silver and four bronze medals. But the best thing is that I had six events in that competition, and I won or means in all events I won the medals. Like uh, it didn't happen that in one or the other event I didn't win any medals or like that.
In spite of your
Just
injury.
the thing is I didn't win any gold medals. Yeah. So that was a bit disappointing, but still I won the six medals. That was enough for me for that time because I was having an injury. Still I performed and all that.
Still you performed very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really hope that this lockdown, by the time this it's kind of things get to the new normal and we you get back to your swimming, you are much
Yes.
stronger and that your injury is completely recovered. That you have recovered from your injury.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Okay, Rutusha, I'm sure you are quite a celebrity with amongst your friends, right? After having uh, been an international swimmer and all of that. So, how do your friends treat you?
No, my friends are actually, very friendly with me. Like it means I have only told them that don't act differently with me, like I'm a celebrity or something like that. So they act normally with me. We are, they all are very proud of me, and whenever I win medals and all, they are like, now we want party and all that, and all that stuff happens. So yeah, my friends have been very supporting also, and I have only told them you don't treat me any different, like I am some celebrity or all that, because I don't like people treating me like that, because I have not achieved what I want till yet. So I try to keep myself grounded.
That's nice. Uh, well, I'm sure your entire day, like you mentioned, you're either studying or you're swimming or you're gymming. But in spite of all of this, do you get time to pursue any other interests?
Yeah, means if I'm done with my studies and there is enough time for me to do something, or if there are offs for the swimming and gym sessions, so I like reading novels. I read different types of novels of different authors which I love, like J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series, then Agatha Christie's crime mysteries,
Oh, wow.
then I have this Sherlock Holmes. I kind of love mysteries and crime stories.
Okay.
So yeah, I love that all things. So whenever I'm free, I read novels or listen to music because I love listening to music also. And now in this lockdown period, started learning guitar also. So yeah, that thing will also be added after the post lockdown when the training starts, and if I have any free time. So yeah, playing guitar and all that, reading novels.
Oh, lovely. So you're learning to play the guitar. That's a new. hobby of yours?
Yeah, I've always wished to learn guitar, but because of this tight, busy schedule, I wasn't able to do all such things. So, whatever I wished before, so I'm not able to do now all that things in this lockdown period.
Oh, that's so nice. Okay. Rutuja, uh, towards we're coming
Yes.
close to our end of the interview, I would like to ask you if you would like to give any kind of message to uh, the parents or even to the kids who will be watching this uh, interview. Anything that you would like to tell them?
Okay. For the kids means who wants to pursue their career in sports, I would like to tell them that be focused from the beginning. Means there should be no distractions. Let nothing distract you in your journey, and always be focused to your goals. Keep making goals for yourself, which when someday you're not feeling like going to practice or something like that. So that goal will help you to go and perform your best. So yeah, I will tell the young kids that pursue your career, be focused, be goal oriented. And for the parents, I would like to say that always keep motivating your child. In athlete's life, there are many ups and down phases. So when your child is going through the down phase, motivate them daily, talk to them, be frank with them, so they can share their feelings with you and all that. So yes, I would like to tell the parents that always be there for them whenever they need your support. Always support them, always motivate them. That's all.
It's a lovely message, especially for the parents, because sometimes
Yeah,
they nudge a child, they push a child to do better, but
yeah, yeah,
times when the child may not perform so well, but as much as the child needs to understand that there are low days, even the parents should understand that. Yeah, that's a nice message. All right, we have a couple of more.
uh, you know i have
Yeah, yeah, carry on.
I have went through these phases, so I know how it feels for the athlete also and for the parents also. So you should be positive in every phase you go through. Just keep doing the thing you love. That's all. Means if you once you are, once you go out from that down phase, you will, achieve more and improve more in your sports. So never give up when you're in your down phase.
Right, yeah. It's a lovely message to Puja, both to the parents
Thank you.
and children as well. Very nice. Okay, we have a couple of more questions related to your swimming. Uh, in the open water, have there been any kind of incidents where you mentioned that it is scary and sometimes definitely because of the waves. But besides the waves, you did mention about the fish there. So has any incident
Yeah.
happened where there were any scary fish or any goldfish or any other fish that were lurking there and you had to swim?
Yeah, there are many incidents in this open water swimming. Actually, in Israel, when I was representing India in, World Championships, so that time while I was swimming, the water was so clear. Actually, the competition was held in Red Sea. So the water was so clear that you could see whatever things are there, below the water, means settled on the ground below the water. So you could see everything which is there. So the route which was given to us, that we have to swim in that route. So at in one point of that route, there was a small sunken ship in the water, and I was clearly able to see that ship. And whenever I used to pass from that point, I used to close my eyes and swim. I used to cross that much point, and then I used to open my eyes again, and I would used to start swimming again. So yeah, that was one scary thing. And in Kuwait also, in open waters, actually, sea is very dirty. People litter and throw garbages and plastics and all that. So sometimes when you are swimming and it touches you, so I get very scared because I feel like there is some fish or something like that. But when I attended means lot of competitions, that fear somehow reduced. But I'm still scared if something comes in between when I'm swimming. So yeah, there were I've seen many fishes, dolphins also. I've seen during swimming in open water competitions. There were many incidents like that, and I'm still those things. But dolphins are okay to swim. But actually, what happened when in Israel after our competition, we were told by the officials that the route in which you were swimming, just 1 kilometer from that route, there were sharks when you were swimming. So yeah, I got very shocked. Like I was literally swimming near the sharks, but I was saved somehow. So there has been many things while swimming which scares me, but they are actually fun in some way and scary in some other way.
Sure, it is scary as well, especially the sharks, right? That shark lurking around
Yeah.
somewhere, that must be the worst fear that one can have.
Worst, actually, I think it was nice of the officials to tell us after our event was over, or it would have if they would have told us before the event. I don't think I would have swam or something like that. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a good thing they told you after the event. Then yes. Okay. Another one that we have here for you is: do you feel, where your training is concerned, is there any difference between your training and the international athletes that you meet, and maybe when you go for your events, when you see their training and their performance? Uh, can you differentiate that there is any training between these two, your training and international athletes training?
Yeah. Uh, Actually, there is a lot of difference because the foreign countries are very well advanced in swimming. They have very much advanced techniques and tools which we don't have in India yet. So that is one plus point for the foreign athletes who train abroad. Also, their sets are also different from the Indian swimmers, what the Indian swimmers train. So their sets are also different. They have very different kinds of tools to train in water, like parachutes, and then training in water. They do weight training in water also, which is not available in India. So there is a big difference, in training in India and training abroad.
Can you elaborate on this, Rutuja? Weight training in water?
Okay, actually, what happens? Uh, there is one bar you would have usually seen in the gyms. Like there are plates and all. When you do the shoulder thing, when you pull it down, the plates go up like that. So the string is attached to your body. The weight is selected like 5 kg or 10 kg, and when then you dive in the water, and it gets resistance to you while swimming. So that is one important thing of swimming, that it is called resistance training. So that helps a lot in improving your performance. So
Okay.
that strings are attached to your body. You jump in the water, then you have to swim very fast because the weights pull you back. So and it gives you resistance. So that improves your performance a lot. But all these things are not available in India. So we are not able to do such kind of things.
Unfortunate. But I think in spite of the training that you do, you have managed to achieve so much. Uh, Another thing that really comes to my
Yes.
mind, it's getting so interesting, and there are a few questions coming into my mind. Some of my friends here are also giving me few questions.
Yeah, sure.
So interesting talking to you. Artistic swimming and diving are again another two different forms of competitions, right? For swimmers. Have you
Yeah.
considered ever?
Sorry.
Diving and artistic swimming, the synchronized swimming.
Okay.
So, have you ever
Yeah.
thought of doing these?
No, never. Actually, I'm scared of diving from heights, so diving is not an option for me. And artistic swimming, it's beautiful to watch, but when you have to do that thing, you have to coordinate with your partner and do all that stuff underwater and then come up. Actually, it's beautiful to see that thing, but when you actually do it, it's very difficult. And I don't think artistic swimming is there in India,
Okay.
so I've never thought of that other options.
Okay. Yeah. And it's a team event, so I'm sure there's a lot of practicing because when we see it on television,
Yeah,
it looks so beautiful. It's just so well.
and in artistic swimming, coordination is the main thing. So that makes it more difficult than diving.
Okay. Sure. Nice. Good. It was really lovely talking to you, Suja, and knowing so much about you and your training,
Yeah, ma'am.
you as a person as well. Um, so I wish you all the best. I wish you win many more competitions, and I wish that
Thank you so much.
you know, you reach the Olympics someday, which would be uh, a dream come true for India and for yourself as well. Here's
Yeah,
you.
it's a dream for almost all the athletes.
I'm sure it is the mecca of all sports, isn't it?
Yeah,
So I wish that you recover quickly. You come back stronger once you go into your training and you go for your competitions after when this all the competition starts and all this lockdown finishes. Thank you very much, Rutuja, for your time. It was just
yes,
it
thanks a lot.
was lovely having you. It was lovely talking to you and knowing you and what kind of swimmer you are. So viewers,
Thank you
that
so
was
much.
Rutuja. Uh, thank you. That was Rutuja Talegaonkar from Nagpur, who was an athlete today, a swimmer, and what a focused girl she is. She is managing her studies, her training, all her competitions. Plus, besides that, she also finds time to pursue other interests which she has. It's so nice to see these young athletes achieving so much and with such dedication and such focus. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Good night.